The mystery of the ages is spoken of by the Old Testament prophets and the apostles. The metamorphosis of Christ. We have the written testimony of Jesus Christ, how he metamorphosed from the flesh into the spirit. It was an example that will take place within us, all those who have surrendered to Christ, to find him within us. Because he's not in the written word, he's not in the written testimony, which is truth, but he is in the living testimony within us. Our fleshly thinking will be transformed into the fullness of the Spirit of God within us. The Messiah is present in us and has always been present since Pentecost in all believers. Many of us haven't come to realize it yet. I myself was one of those, always seeking, knocking and asking. But he is diminishing and destroying the sin nature, and it would be no longer manifest in us if we keep on, as those layers upon layers are stripped away. And there are many layers placed upon us and pressed down to hide that light within us. And all of us are going through the same thing. For some of us it will be anguish as those layers come off, because some of those layers are not very nice, because those layers are placed right in front of us to see what we are and how we've lived. But in his mercy, in the goodness of God's mercy and love, he's laying them before us to deal with them and get rid of them once and for all time. And what will be manifest is Christ formed in us. So we become one with him and the Father, living in us. We have to acknowledge and realize this truth. And we have to accept it as well, because many might not accept it. They've been comfortable in the written word, reading about the testimony of Christ, and not actually realizing he was talking about him within us. And Paul recognized this when he said, Christ will be revealed in my body. And he also said, on the day he comes to be glorified in his holy people and marveled at among the nations. There's a wonderful blessing coming for those who come out of the world, who step aside from the world and let the world get on with it, to seek him within and to walk in spirit and truth. This process has gone on throughout the generations, even today, within his followers. The man of lawlessness is being exposed in our flesh, which persistently resists the revealing of Christ in us. He appeared in the flesh 2,000 years ago, once and for all time, to do away with sin by his sacrifice. He is now revealed in the Spirit. He come in the Spirit when we called upon his name and believed on him. And by his sacrifice he has made perfect forever those who were made holy. And the apostles recognize this, and we need to recognize that as well. And this is the work that is going on inside us. And we mustn't let our fleshly man resist it, because it will. It will resist it. So we can come into the fullness of Christ in you, so he can be revealed and people will be able to see Christ in us. That is our blessing and this is our joy, and it's for his glory. And when we recognize Christ is in us and proclaim it, the fleshly man will eventually flee, because darkness cannot come into pure light. And this is what we will become: pure light, holy, clean, pure, innocent, for his glory, not our own. And this is what we're seeking now. So we have to start looking within instead of looking up to the sky for the Messiah to come and rescue us. This is the deception. This is the misleading that has gone on in the churches. Whether they have done that on purpose or not, I'm not judging. But they haven't understood the Christ within us. They haven't revealed it to us. It's all about restoration and realization. He dwells in you, not in man-made churches, not in made things made of bricks and mortar, not in the written testimony, but as the living word in you, and he dwells forever. And when we realize that, nothing can snatch you away from him, because darkness cannot approach light, darkness cannot come into light. And as that light grows and becomes like a beacon, the rivers of water of life will begin to flow. And we will be stepping out of the shadows in full confidence, proclaiming the goodness and the love and the mercy of Jesus Christ and God our Father for what they have done. The mystery of the ages being revealed in the sons and daughters of Christ. It's a beautiful thing. Peace and love, everybody.